The man who forgot his identity for 10 years disappeared into his own mind, living a decade without knowing his own name, family, or past. He awoke one day with no recollection of who he was. Medical tests revealed no injury, no trauma, and no neurological disease that could explain his memory loss. His mind had erased itself, leaving only survival instincts. He wandered through life like a ghost. Jobs, friendships, even living spaces were temporary. Nothing anchored him because he could not remember anything about himself. Every mirror reflected a stranger. Every photograph felt like someone else's life. Faces of family and friends were unrecognizable, despite their pleas and reminders. He tried to write down memories, but every attempt failed. Words meant nothing because he could not associate them with an identity. Names, dates, events, they vanished instantly. Over time, psychologists studied him intensively. They suggested a rare form of dissociative amnesia, possibly triggered by trauma, too subtle for detection. He could recall general knowledge, how to cook, ride a bike, or use a phone, but personal memories were completely gone. He functioned, yet remained unmoored. Friends and relatives attempted to reconnect. They showed photographs, shared stories, and recounted experiences, hoping to spark recognition. He only listened politely. Social connections became confusing. He tried to smile, to laugh, but there was a hollow feeling. He was present, yet absent in every meaningful sense. Authorities struggled as well. Without identification, bank accounts, passports, or official records, he existed in a legal gray zone. Simple tasks became monumental challenges. He moved from city to city, sometimes living in shelters, sometimes renting cheap apartments. He adapted to routines, but never rooted himself. Time became both friend and enemy. Days passed like pages in a book he could not read. Moments existed only in the present. The past was unreachable. Therapists attempted hypnosis, memory recovery techniques, and guided meditation. Each session brought fleeting flashes, but no lasting identity emerged. He developed coping strategies. Journaling became a lifeline, though the words often felt foreign to him. Routine gave him a sense of structure in an otherwise unanchored existence. Despite the void, he formed relationships cautiously. People sensed something missing, yet he maintained kindness, compassion, and curiosity toward strangers. Psychologists observed a unique phenomenon. He retained emotional memory. He could feel love, sadness, fear, but without personal context, it was pure, unlinked emotion. Even music affected him profoundly. Certain songs triggered intense feelings, though he could not remember why. Emotional memory persisted without factual memory. He remained fascinated by objects. Books, paintings, and letters held strange allure. Their history was inaccessible, but their essence moved him. After years, he slowly started recalling fragments, smell of coffee, laughter in a familiar room, the sensation of a loved one's touch. Each piece was tiny but precious. Friends who never gave up began to see glimmers of recognition. Faces once foreign sparked fleeting emotions. Familiarity returned as intuition, not conscious memory. His story became a subject of research, documentaries, and news features. Scientists called it one of the most profound cases of memory loss ever recorded. He eventually reconnected with a few family members, cautiously rebuilding bonds over time. Recognition was tentative, like stepping into a half-remembered dream. Identity slowly returned, not fully, but in pieces. He learned that who we are is both memory and action. Without recollection, we remain human, just fragmented. Life after amnesia was a second chance. Every day became a choice to define himself anew, with lessons from both absence and return. He often reflected on the lost decade, understanding the fragility of memory and the resilience of the human spirit. He learned patience with himself. Memory could not be forced, but moments could be lived fully and consciously in the present. His story remains a powerful reminder. Identity is not only in what we remember, but in how we navigate life when the past is gone. For 10 years, he was no one, and yet he survived. For 10 years, he lived unanchored and learned the depth of human adaptability. He regained pieces of his identity, but the experience changed him permanently. Memory, he realized, is both a gift and a fragile tether. His life teaches that even an extreme absence of self, survival, compassion, and curiosity endure. Memory is vital, but existence itself persists.